Superman Legacy is currently flying its way into production, and I think it's safe to say that most of us are very excited at the prospect of a brand new take on the character. The script is written and James Gunn is ready. So what's gonna happen? How do you tell a Superman story that fits into this modern world? Today I want to talk about it all and break down the 5 things that we should expect to see out of this new movie. What's up everyone, and welcome back to Jones Vibes. If you're new to my channel, I talk about all things movies and television, and it's pretty Superman. And today I'm very excited to be talking about Superman Legacy, written and directed by James Gunn himself. There's so much to get hyped about here, and it's just pretty wild that we're getting a new Superman movie. And just to get this out of the way, look, I loved Man of Steel. It's one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. I've had a weird relationship with Batman vs Superman. I didn't like it when it first came out, but then I saw the Ultimate Edition, and now I'm a pretty big fan of that. And then, Snyder's Justice League was just sick. So one could definitely call me a fan of the Snyder movies, but I do not associate myself with any sort of Snyderverse communities because those people have demonstrated that they are insane and are just not happy people. But since the announcement of the DCU, I have just been thinking, and so I wanted to make a video about what we can expect, or at least what I hope we can expect out of this new movie. So let's just get to it and talk about the first thing. I think that if we've learned anything from James Gunn's run in the MCU, it's that he tries to find the best, most surprising, and moving story he can tell. And he said that with the DCU, they're not just trying to pump out product. Every one of these projects is going to be very story-driven. And now that the Guardians trilogy is finished, it's evident that he tells stories with a compassionate perspective and also has crazy attention to detail. He knows where things are leading and he likes to map things out. I love that. Specifically, the complete arc of Rocket in the Guardians trilogy just shows how deep James Gunn can go and also how much he cares. And with Superman, there is so much to explore with Clark and Lois and even Lex Luthor, assuming he's in this first one. But I'm fully expecting that if anything is lacking in this movie, it's not gonna be the plot. I think I can confidently say that, but moving on to the second thing, and that is the characters. I'm fully expecting him to treat his characters with dignity and with the respect that they deserve. One of my pet peeves is watching a villain that I can't understand. Whether they're just crazy or they're good turned bad, as a viewer, I want to be inside that villain's mind. Something that Matt Reeves did so well with the Riddler. And I think James Gunn understands this. If you're bringing in a fan favorite like Lex Luthor or Doomsday or even Brainiac, they have to be treated with respect, and they also have to really challenge Clark to his core. Doomsday really is one of my nitpicks and gripes about Batman vs Superman. Like, where the hell did he come from? Obviously, I know, but he was really only there to serve a B to C plot point. And for me, every character needs to matter, and I reference villains because in a superhero movie, that's a very important side to the coin. James Gunn cares about his characters and also makes sure that all the actors know the characters. A good example of this, Vin Diesel recently said that he would give him a script for Groot, and so even though his line was, "I am Groot," he was always given paragraphs of dialogue so that he would know the interpretation, and that just shows heart. And it really bodes well. But moving on, and the third thing is, I think that we can expect this movie to be very emotional. DC is just darker. It's not Marvel, and Superman is an emotional character. That's why I think it's a bit of an intimidating project to take on. Like, how do you take on the perfect man? Well, like I said earlier, you have to cut to his core. There are so many points in different comic runs and shows where he is broken and beaten down. And what do you do when you have all the power in the world, but you lose the love of your life, or you lose your family? Like, there's stories from the past that we've seen where Lois Lane dies. There's also Kingdom Come, where Superman just becomes a recluse. Like, things get dark in DC, and I fully expect them to go there. And maybe not those specific stories, but who knows? As the DCU continues, I'm sure James Gunn is planning a lot of crazy and emotional stuff for us. But on to number 4, and that is casting. I think it's very safe to say that we will have some stellar casting with this movie. There's been a lot of rumors already, but nothing confirmed, so I'm not gonna go into all of them, but with how James Gunn stuck by Chris Pratt for Star-Lord, even when everyone was saying no and doubting him, he had a vision, and we can trust that he has that same vision now. I'm fully expecting whoever he casts as Clark Kent to completely knock it out of the park. It's gonna be interesting as things kind of ramp up here and we start to get more announcements, and we're gonna find out who it's gonna be. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy. If you have any thoughts or ideas, please leave them down in the comments because I'd love to hear it. But then lastly, and the most fun aspect that we can expect is a built-out universe. James Gunn has said this, and look, we're probably gonna get introduced to a few notable heroes or characters that we're gonna recognize in this movie. And even if we don't see Batman, they're probably gonna mention him, or at least mention what's happening in Gotham. Superman and Batman may even have some history at this point, like who knows? It's gonna be pretty awesome stepping into this world with so much to explore, and then realizing that after Superman Legacy, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We'll then head into Lanterns, and we'll get Supergirl and Swamp Thing and all the other projects. Like, there's gonna be a Joker roaming around somewhere, and Darkseid is probably out there somewhere. Like, the possibilities are endless, and in a time where things have been a little interesting with the MCU, I'm extremely stoked to be heading now into this direction. But as always, I'm just a guy sitting here sharing my opinion. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Are you excited for Superman Legacy? Please let me know down in the comments, ask me questions, start the conversation, and spread the good vibes. Also, if you stuck with me this far, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate the support. And also, I'd love to see you come back, so hit subscribe because there's a lot more content on the way. But Superman Legacy is getting closer, but will it be the symbol of hope that this world needs right now? I guess we'll see.
Jones Vibes.